Hi, everybody. Doug Jenkins with the Findlay-Hancock County Chamber of Commerce once again on our YouTube channel as we continue to try and put together as many resources as we can for our area business community while we see our way through the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, we're talking about what a lot of small business owners are talking about or thinking about or reading about, that being programs available through the Small Business Administration. Joining us today, Mike Pepple with First Federal Bank, also Brent Williamson with Fifth Third Bank, as all of the banks really in town are really trying to work with small business owners on ways that they can stay afloat. We appreciate you guys taking time out of what I know has been busy days for you to talk a little bit about the programs that are out there. So again, thank you. I guess I'll start it off with right now, as we record this on Monday, April 20th, there is no money available in that first round of funding that came out. We'll talk a little bit about what may or may not happen with that here coming up, but I just wanted to get your first impressions and maybe issues that businesses ran into that should there be another round of funding, you would want them to know about so that they can get their application filed sooner rather than later. And Brent, we'll start with you. Are there any issues or stumbling points that people ran into?
I don't think there's anything that really stuck out, to be honest, Doug. I think a lot of it had to do with, so many changes happening at the 11th hour with the SBA before this finally got passed. So we were trying to adapt as a bank and making sure that we were able to communicate those effectively. So it presented a significant challenge for us to make sure that we could communicate that in a timely fashion. So I think there was a little bit of a delay on that front. So what I would just, I guess advise is to make sure you have as much of the information needed up front to make sure that process goes smoothly.
Mike, I'm sure you've had similar experiences too in working with people. Is that really the name of the game for the banks, is just trying to stay on top of what may or may not happen in those last minute changes?
Absolutely. We were getting changes Thursday, even through Friday. And when we felt we had the final information, we provide our clients a checklist. And the key is that checklist is you got to turn in all the all the information requested and complete the application. All the blanks must be filled out and all the background information must be provided. The ones that I got were complete, and all the documentation, I got them in right away. And we've been actually closing and dispersing PPP loans here the last 2 weeks.
What were some of the big questions that you both fielded from business owners when it started looking like this money was going to be available?
Well, I had been sharing information as I received it about a week before it became available. I was just trying to get people ready, saying this is changing, but this is what I think is going to be needed. So when the hour did come to submit, a lot of them already had their information together, their 941s, their payroll information from 2019 and 2020, and all of the supporting documents. So again, I think people being prepared for when it was available was key.
Brent, same question to you. What were some of the big questions that you fielded?
Yeah, I just think, everybody just kind of want to know what the catch is, right? So with this loan specifically, it's has the ability to be forgiven if used appropriately. So, I don't think there was anything, like I said, really stood out from a questioning perspective. I think everybody kind of just wanted to know what the catch was, and what do they need to make sure that they have prepared on the back end to this, to make sure that they were in the right spot to have those funds forgiven when the time comes.
Brent, jumping off of that point, people wanting to know what the catch was. Certainly, Findlay and Hancock County it's a community that we tend to try and do these things ourselves. There's a lot of hardworking business owners out there who may be reluctant to take in these programs. One, being skeptical of the benefits that it possibly has, and two, being worried about what's waiting there on the back end. Have you fielded some questions or comments about that, and how have you guys? How are you trying to put concerns at ease about taking part in this program?
Well, for me specifically, I guess I just always want to reiterate, that this is for payroll specifically. So, obviously it's headlined in the title, but, to make sure that they realize that 75% of the proceeds need to be used for payroll expenses, and the remaining 25% can be used for, utilities, rent expense, or mortgage interest. So just really, I guess, emphasizing that, they're going to be, handed a significant amount of money with this program, but making sure that it's allocated appropriately.
Mike, same question to you. Have you run into skepticism or had to put some fears at bay about how this program works?
No, I think the key is you got to be able to support your documentation on where the money was spent. I suggest they work with their CPA to set up maybe a separate accounting process so you can track what's been spent on payroll, utilities, rents, leases, things like that. So again, the key will be providing the documentation to show where you spent the money at the end of the period.
All right. Now, as we stated before, the program as it currently stands does not have money, but we have heard that there's discussion that there could be another round of funding for this. As the government ramps up that aspect of the things, certainly people should be prepared so that when it opens up, they can file sooner rather than later. What are the big resources out there to maybe help guide them along with that you guys would advise using?
Well, again, I would, they need to talk to their bank. Whoever they bank with will provide them what they need to apply and work with their bank and get the information together like today. So when it does open up again, it'll be in the lender's hands and they can submit it right away. Because I'm feeling just like this first round, the money's going to go very, very quickly.
Yeah, I would echo those sentiments. I would just say that, I wouldn't change anything what you said. I mean, the sense of urgency needs to be at an all-time high for this at this point, because the money will fly off the shelf, very, very quickly.
One thing that we wanted to point out too, or at least this is my understanding of the program, is that the banks that are involved, it's not necessarily competitive. You're talking about the same rates everywhere. We are getting together and having a couple of different viewpoints on here just to kind of illustrate the solidarity between the banking industry, I think, in Findlay in trying to help those small businesses through. Certainly, while competition is good, this is one where I imagine there's probably a good deal of communication between the banks in town and just making sure that you guys understand everything properly and move forward.
Well, I would say, all banks want to participate in this program because it's our clients' futures at stake here. They need these funds now so in order to survive, so they'll be here, 6 months from now. So I think, from all the banks, this is our willingness to do this for our clients and make sure they're going to make it through these difficult times, very difficult times.
Brent, I'm sure you would echo those sentiments as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. These are uncharted waters that we're trying to navigate through. So, I've worked collectively with a couple other institutions in town and trying to just make sure that our small business community is being helped appropriately. And, time is of the essence right now. So again, not to be repetitive, but if you're looking to do this or, you haven't done so yet, please make sure that you are reaching out to your bank and you do have all the proper documentation.
Well, Mike and Brent, I appreciate your time today. I know it's been very busy for you as you guys work through all this paperwork and get that done. So again, we appreciate your time. Now, we will have more videos coming on the Findlay-Hancock County Chamber of Commerce YouTube channel throughout the weeks and days. Also, make sure you subscribe to us on Facebook as well and like our page. We'll have some some Facebook Live videos there that we'll be giving some information out on too. So you want to make sure that you're following us on both streams here. On YouTube, we're really more focused on business operations and way you can do that. And on Facebook, we're talking about some of the innovative ways that our members are conducting business right now. So more videos coming throughout the week. I'm Doug Jenkins of the Findlay-Hancock County Chamber of Commerce.